Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to catch us every Friday, 7 p.m. on the Friday Fix. Don't forget to catch our other shows, Plays and Parlays, and Civil Discourse. Hello, Wesley. How are you today?
I think I'm Big Meech.
Feel I'm Larry Hoover.
No, definitely, man. No, things are good, man, right now. You know, I mean, we live in a chaotic society, man. We all know every day there'll be some kind of a news going on about our so-called, what is he, 47? Was he 47th president?
Is he? No,
I think he's 45, 47. That's 45, what he is.
47.
Yeah, okay. About the 47th resident.
He's the last president.
Of the White House, I guess. But we can definitely say that things are a little bit brighter in some aspects as well.
Yeah.
Trump commutes sentence of former Gangster Disciple leader Larry Hoover. President Trump on Wednesday commuted the sentence of notorious former Chicago street gang leader Larry Hoover, who was serving multiple life sentences in federal prison. Hoover, 74, the co-founder of the Chicago gang Gangster Disciples, was already serving a 200-year sentence on state charges in Illinois for the 1973 murder of a 19-year-old neighborhood drug dealer, William Pookie Young, when he was convicted of federal charges in 1997 and sentenced to 6 life terms. Hoover was among 39 Gangster Disciple leaders indicted in the August 1995 in Operation Headache, a 6-year effort by the feds to infiltrate Gangster Disciples. Federal prosecutors had accused him of criminal enterprise to continue overseeing the gang while in prison in Illinois. Hoover is currently serving 6 life sentences in a maximum security prison in Colorado, according to federal prison records. It's unclear how soon he will be released from federal custody, but he still faces the remainder of his 200-year sentence in Illinois, dating back to the 1973 for Young's murder. Hoover's attorney said he spent nearly 30 years in solitary confinement at ADX Florence, a maximum security prison in Colorado that they describe as the most restrictive, draconian supermax prison in the United States. In a statement, Hoover's attorneys Jennifer Bonjean and Justin Moore said they are thrilled to see he will be released from federal custody. The courts have demonstrated complete unwillingness to consider Mr. Hoover's considerable growth and complete rehabilitation. Despite the court's unwillingness to do the right thing, Mr. Hoover has been able to keep his voice alive through the incredible work of many advocates and supporters. Thankfully, Mr. Hoover's pleas were heard by President Trump, who took action to deliver justice for Mr. Hoover. Just thrilled for him, thrilled for his family, thrilled for his supporters, who have been chanting "Free Larry Hoover" for a long time, Bonjean added in a follow-up interview. Bonjean has represented Hoover when he was up for parole on his state sentence in 2022 and was denied. He is eligible for resentencing, but the courts have been unwilling to give him that opportunity, notwithstanding the fact that he has literally done every single thing a human being could do to show that they have been rehabilitated, said Bonjean. In 1993, Hoover spoke to former CBS News Chicago reporter John Davis. At the time, Hoover was 42 years old and had already served 20 years in prison. "I've done my time," Hoover said in 1993 interview. "I paid my debt to society." In the interview with Davis, the leader of the Gangster Disciples and convicted murderer, he had a lot of time to think about ways to stop the gang violence on the streets of Chicago. Anytime you do extensive time, it can have 2 effects. It can harden you or it can make you think, Hoover said at the time. And I've thought. He said in the 1993 interview that he had done a lot of thinking about the senseless gang violence plaguing the streets of Chicago at the time. One teenager don't like the other teenager because of the way he wear his hat, because of his ideology is different from his. A disciple don't like vice lords, Hoover said in the interview. We're all black people, and there's no difference.
Now, one thing, they call them Gangster Disciples, but GD stands for growth and development. for one. And then all the people don't really understand all the violence, or the majority of the violence in Chicago. I can't see all of it. All the gang violence, they're all in the same gang. They're just different parts of it. So basically they're folks, right? And folks is a nationwide gang. And it's folks, and then you have GDs, you have BGDs, which is Black Gangster Disciples, you have Gangster Disciples. But, you know, in Chicago, they're all GDs. They're all Gangster Disciples. They just are on different blocks. You know what I'm saying? And so they didn't want to let him out. But everyone else that had something to do with, like, most of the rest of the Gangster Disciples that got locked up with him are already free. They're already out. They just don't want to let Larry Hoover out because for some reason, they don't want anyone to try to fix Chicago. Because at the end of the day, it's always a talking point. You can have the mass shooting going on in, you know, Boulder, Colorado. It could be a white redhead kid, and they'd be like, oh, well, you know, the violence in Chicago. You can have January 6th go on, they'd be like, well, the violence in Chicago. They really don't want to fix it. Obama could have done this, but, you know, Obama, he was trying to be a president for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of being a president for us, man. It gets down to a point to where he's an older man now. I mean, he's done a considerable amount of time. He's been locked up since 1973. That's about 52 years or something like that. Something ridiculous, and a ridiculous amount of time. And it's to the point to where what do they think he's going to do? Get out and be a kingpin at this point in time? There's nothing more. There's no 200-year sentence for murder. 200 years.
I mean,
come on, man.
They commuted the Menendez brothers murder after we saw
killed their parents in cold blood. They were rich. They had money. You know what I mean? Like, there was no reason. This guy comes from a hard neighborhood where there's a lot of gangs and drugs and violence going on. There's a reason behind things that he did. These people killed their parents, and they made up a story saying, I mean, I'm not sure if it's true or not. But they were being, you know what I mean, done whatever they were doing by their parents.
Then a band member that the dad used to manage came out just a couple years ago or last year, and was like, yeah, you know, he touched me too. And that's why they went and revisited their sentencing, and they lowered it down so that the Menendez brothers can get out. But the same thing, look, dude from Abercrombie and Fitch was flying dudes out and having sexually assaulted models and stuff. He got bail. Puffy in here, they're just telling stories.
At the end of the day, you know, I think there's a path forward. I know he has a considerable amount of time to still do. Just going back into state prison in Illinois. However, J.B. Pritzker, who is the governor of Illinois, who is the person who has pardon power over the fact of or commuting power over the fact, either one, over the people in Illinois, he's going to be running for president in 2028. So, I mean, what vote will you need the most as being a Democrat running for president, which is the black vote? So there's a considerable amount of pressure that we can put on him to bear and say this person needs to be released from prison at this point in time.
My brother.
I mean, however it goes, as a forward-thinking individual, Pritzker is going to have to think that there will be. Yeah. Everyone's going to assume that there will be an election. So I think that's the leverage they may have over him to kind of get this to finally bring Hoover home once and for all. I mean, I think it's a very big. I mean, you look at all the different people who they've had no problem with partying and bringing home. We see it all over and over again. So I mean, I'm an advocate for them to finally free Larry Hoover.
Yeah. No, that should be a good one. Hopefully they do.